Good evening. It's 9 p.m. here in South Korea. Thank you for joining us on Arirang News. We begin with the upcoming first visit by a South Korean president to Japan in 4 years. That's due to take place this week. Unveiling details of President Yoon's Tokyo trip, Seoul's top office hopes it'll serve as a turning point in restoring Seoul-Tokyo ties as he sits down with Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Our presidential office correspondent Oh Soo-young has our top story.
South Korea and Japan are set to normalize their bilateral relations with a breakthrough summit in Tokyo, resuming top-level shuttle diplomacy. That's according to National Security Advisor Kim Sung-han, speaking to reporters on Tuesday. Ahead of President Yoon Suk-yeol's working visit to Japan, Kim said the South Korean leader and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will discuss all areas of bilateral ties to break the vicious cycle of spiraling relations between the neighbours, which fell to a critical low 4 years ago. At the core of their talks will be resolving the trade dispute triggered in 2019, when Japan slapped controls on exports of key chip materials to Seoul. This followed a Korean court ordering Japanese firms to compensate the Koreans they subjected to forced labour before and during World War II. Stabilising military intel sharing will also be discussed, as the practice became rocky under the previous Moon and Abe administrations.
There will be an opportunity to discuss ways to resolve policy barriers and deepen economic cooperation between the two countries. Through this summit and dinner event, the two leaders affirmed their will to enhance bilateral relations as they build mutual trust on a personal level.
Also on the agenda is how to implement Seoul's plan to compensate the Korean victims of forced labour through private funding without demanding reparations from Japanese firms. As the first top-level exchange between the two countries since 2011, Yoon's trip represents a restoration of full bilateral exchanges. His schedule will begin with a luncheon with Korean nationals, followed by a summit and state dinner with Kishida on Thursday afternoon. On Friday morning, Yoon will greet South Korea and Japan friendship groups, then sit down for lunch with business leaders from both countries. Signifying their focus on the future, the president will give a lecture to Korean and Japanese students at Keio University. Yoon will be joined on the trip by First Lady Kim Gon-hee. All eyes are now on whether the Yoon-Kishida meeting will result in a joint statement that turns their determination to improve bilateral ties into practical action. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.